Turn my mic up, turn my mic up. And we're here now. Okay, people, here we go. I think I'm going to have to take my time. And I know this is going to be awkward because this is my first go. I'm doing it by myself. No co-host or anything like that. So, the conversation may not flow as fluently as it would if I had someone here, to bounce things off of. But, with practice makes perfect. Well, I don't believe in the word perfect. I shouldn't have said that. But practice makes you better. Repetition of anything, even if you drink, you become an alcoholic. So you're basically the best at drinking, right? But that's another subject for another time. So what we're going to open with today would be, right, because the impeachment is going on, and I really, I have strong opinions on politics. I have my own theories and outlooks on things. It's something that I follow. I've been doing it for a long time, I guess. It's like people, when you do something, all the time, and it's normal for you, and so people that don't endorse, don't stay up on those type of issues, or, they're not aware of, little details, that the government and politicians do or say or stuff like that. So, it's like, with me, it's just second nature, like when you talk about something, current event, or Kellyanne Conway said this on Fox, or Trevor Noah, said this on The Daily Show, MSNBC, all of those things, I watch, and then it's easier now because you do have YouTube, so you get the clips, you can just, you could, what it be called, the cliff notes, you get the highlights. But I guess the best thing would be is to watch the full program so you get everything in proper context. So what I wrote down a couple of days ago before I was going to do this, I was going to go with Speaker, right? Podcast. They say, so much money a month. And you could buy an app for $100, right? And then you have your own app. So I was really, intrigued by that. I was like, that's what I was going to do. But then, to do your due diligence, I went on YouTube and, watched some tutorials and, those, which are the best podcast videos. I watched a couple of those. So I landed on Podbeam. So here I am. I done paid my damn money for it now for a whole year. So y'all stuck with me. I guess it's all about the hustle because, right. I was there. Adam 22, right? I watch a lot of podcasts too. So I think it is like, a better time for me to do it as before, other than before. These are papers. These are my notes that y'all might be hearing, because I know as I tested the mic, it was kind of loud, but I guess y'all at least want y'all to be able to hear me. I work on, because the microphone part too, also, the clarity and things like that. But anyway, Adam 22, was talking about podcasting, and he made a reference of saying that it's like crack in the 80s. It's like, I guess it's a lot of money in it, as far as what he was, what he was referencing. And, that makes sense to me, So this would be my $20 dub, me starting off, I'm gonna work my way up to a key. That's how rappers do it now. 'Cause I think, instead of actually talking about real dope, they talk about their songs and their CDs like it's dope. I know they do that, but it's just so funny, to hear them, talk like they really doing that part. Oh, but they be serious though, don't they? Anyway, I'm not going to start with the political talk first. I'm going to start with what I like about the Bible. I just thought about this because before I was about to go on, because I was looking at my little notes that I had made the other day, and they're like 1, 2, 3, couple words: Trump's impeachment, China, the what? I don't even know what that say. And Lindsey Graham, hoe ass, and it was gonna be, well, still gonna talk about this stuff, but a good point of view to have, or the insight of the day would be to be present, you know, the here and now, to be present in the moment. You know, it says that, you know, you could do anything in the world if you are willing to start from this point, where you are right now, this moment. You can do anything from here. Everything else doesn't matter. Like, that's the only thing I would encourage about, like, living in fantasy world, or living in, you know, fantasy world, living in delusion, or whatever you want to say, you know, delusions of grandeur. But once you have been through a lot, and it depends on the person, I guess, because everybody pains their own, so everybody thinks they've been through the worst thing ever, which is true because it happened to them. So if it didn't happen to, you know, it didn't happen to no one else. So, you know, in their mind, this is the worst thing that could ever happen. But the only thing I know true for sure, because all this cancer shit, is that it can always be worse, you know. And you getting mad, or you saying that it can't get no worse, like, oh, woe is me, you know. Don't say that, because it actually could get fucking a lot worse, you know. But anyway, so first thing I was gonna say is that I like the Bible the same way as I like Christmas. You know, like when you first found out that it wasn't real, after, you know, after all that time, you know, let me see, I'm trying to read, so forgive me. You know, long after Santa Claus, you know, you still believed in, you still had Jesus, you know, but nope, you know, that shit is not real either. So now you just believe in the spirit, you know, of the season, you know, the giving and getting of things, and that makes it okay. It's like my mother said, it's the only time of the year that people are really nice to each other for no reason. And that has to be a good thing, you know. It is the time of the year where people, oh, this is why I brought this up, because we are in that time of the year, even though people don't even give a fuck about Thanksgiving anymore. You know, they already putting up Christmas trees and lights and things like that. So therefore, this is the reason for that topic. And like I said before, it is the best time of the year. It is the most time. Well, how you say that? It is the time of the year where people give the most for strangers, and are the most heartfelt for the most part. You know, so for that reason alone, it could be celebrated no matter, you know, how you think about it, as far as the government, Christian corporations, then mind fucked us on it, you know. It's still, oh, and like, so Jesus not born on that day, whatever, you know, if he was born at all, another subject, another time. But the thing about it is, December 21st is the shortest day of the year, I do believe. And it goes for like 3 days, you know, it goes in recession, sort of like, so that's why it's like the birth and the resurrection all in one, because of the sun type of thing, you know. It's like, you know, the Bible, Quran, all that stuff, it's like, you know, it's like the leftovers, you know, it's like the pig of knowledge, basically, you know, and it's for us niggas, right, to take that pig and make it taste good again, because, hey, can you hear me drinking? I'm about to take a drink. But because this is what we do, um, we make bad shit seem good. So, you know, we can make good shit seem great, if we put our mind to it. Now, as I was saying, you know, like we do Christmas is the same way, I guess people that believe in Christianity do. I don't believe in it, but I'm not going to use my platform, to bash any religions at all. When I first had these ideas back in the day, I thought that's what I was going to do. I thought that would be part of it, telling people the truth, and regardless, you know, how stupid can you be to believe in this part and that part, but that's not in my job description. That's not part of my thing to do. My thing is, I guess, how it always supposed to be when it starts off is just to give my take on it, and like nowadays, it's not like I can actually say I'm a prophet. I have visions. God talked to me. An angel came to me. Um, Fuck what? Oh, I looked into a hat full of gold and had visions. Um, all of that stuff. Scientology, right? Science fiction writer. Like I am a writer, and that's the thing to it too. Like I could make up some shit. If I put my mind to it, but it's like people, right? Enough people that made up shit. It's like so I don't need to make up nothing else. I'm just trying to shift through the things that I know and give my best interpretation on it, because it's and it takes combined um combined knowledge of different aspects and different fields of thought or beliefs actually. So right, I'm thinking I might be like the mixed martial artist of the fucking of the religious world, of religious speaking, however you want to put that, because it's gonna, like I got a little bit of everything to throw, at y'all, at anybody, but I'm not really up for debates, like this is more of a talk, you listen, but I thought I can't do that either, you know what I mean? So, cause I swear to God, I was gonna have no comments, no fucking feedback, none of that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to listen, you listen. You don't, you don't. But I'm not gonna go that route. Gonna be a big boy, and I don't know how much I'm gonna read about some bullshit that people gonna say because I'm not even on it. Because it's already. Because the thing about it is, everything for the most part, right? Everything that somebody want to say, I didn't heard some of that shit. You know what I mean? Thing about it is, have you heard? I don't think you have heard what I got to say, especially the way that I combine different things. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm not the smartest on these subjects. Uh, Another one, right? You're gonna hear this shit forever about my mother. Oh, it's gonna get good, I guess. But my mother would say, a jack of all trades, master of none. So, I guess I fall into that category because I never, except for writing though, I think I mastered writing and English comprehension. I did get 100% on that on my GED, and I was high, but I don't suggest that for people trying to get their GED. Do not get high and take tests. Because I don't think they do the math like they used to do. Because I ain't gonna tell you what I did with my math, but I ain't do good. But I think, my other scores were so high that my average put me well over, what I needed to pass and get my certificate. But high school would be better than getting a GED. Just so you know, because it's preparation. Like we get halfway grown. I don't even know if it's halfway grown, but it's like, it's like you go from not knowing shit, at 10, or you might, but you really know you don't know nothing. But then 12, 13, 14, 15, it's like, it's just like you grow exponentially over and over again in your mind, it's like then, 17, 18, every fucking thing. It's like, it's impossible, you know what I mean? It's like, but it's the catch-22 of certain things, and this will be the ongoing theme of everything that I say, because it almost comes down to a lot of things that are important are a catch-22. You know what I'm saying? It's damn you do, damn you don't. You can't win. It's like the spectrum. It's like Mr. Glass said, if you have one person on one end of the spectrum, like him, with his bones, he had that real disease where they broke very easily, then you would have to have a person on the other end of the scale that basically can't get hurt at all. And there are all those people, you know what I mean? It might not be combined with strength, but, there's people that never, like, until I got sick, I never got sick, you know what I mean? So that's that. Okay, so back to, so like I said, that's the best I can do for Christians. Just, you know, it's okay to believe in the Bible even after the mind fuck. That's the best way I could put it. I guess it's just, you have to focus, you just focus on the good parts. But I think, right, so, right, even after all of that, you focus on the good parts, and that's supposed to be, good enough, because you didn't know it was bad, so, you want to make it good now, or however that process goes. But the thing is this, so there's a lollipop theory, right? So if you was walking down the street, you and your friend, and y'all seen a lollipop on the ground, and it was covered in dirt and shit or whatever, and you picked it up, and you offered it to your friend, would he take it? The obvious question would be no. So if you took that same lollipop, and took it in the house, your friend is watching you, you wash it off, clean it up and everything, wash everything off of it, take it back outside, offer it to your friend, do you think he would eat that lollipop now? Is it okay for him to eat that lollipop now because it's clean? The answer would be, for most people, 99%, no. Fuck no. It was still, where it came from, it was dirty, so you're not going to eat it. It's the same thing, for ignorance and believing a man, believing that a woman came from a man rib, like little things like that, the sun doesn't rise, it doesn't set, I'm not saying that we got to overturn, like, I don't know, like everything, but it's just little things that, you should know that is really the truth, you know what I mean? Cause like, say like, I guess it's white people, I know, but to me, cause it's like Trump, you know what I'm saying? It's like this nigga is like the quintessential white man from every black person's nightmares, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we were going to describe how white men act, this nigga is Freddy Krueger, this nigga is Jason, he is the worst of the worst, exactly how some of us, view them, or have been treated, or even if you haven't met them, you know what I'm saying? That's how you think the motherfuckers act. Like, you think all of them act like that. And now he president, you see what I'm saying? Like, like, how do you, like, that messes with our brains, you know what I'm saying? Like, that messes with niggas' brains. And it don't mess with everybody's brain, because everybody, ain't us. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But, so, it's the same thing. We can't keep on believing and the dumb shit. We can't keep on lying to our kids because, right, I mean, we're still talking about slavery, you know what I'm saying? Like, all them people that fought for all of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we do them a disservice because we complaining about they fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you wasn't even there, you know what I'm saying? Oh, but my you know what I'm saying? My granddaddy, he did, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it wasn't you, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole point, you know? And it's like, I don't want to, like, we know, like, how, we know, you know what I'm saying? It's like we're in a bad relationship. I've said this, I wrote about it, you know, and I guess I'm getting it out there now because this is going to be not a draft, you know. I'm going to have to work through the kinks, you know, but I paid for this shit, right? This is my show, so I can take my time if I want to, because I don't want to rush through things, you know, like I'm doing now, or jumping over things, you know. That's why, you know, you pick a subject and you talk about that for about however long, you know. Because most times the thing about it is, I don't even think programs need to be as long as they need to be, because people go off into other tangents about this and about that, had nothing to do with what they started talking about. And I know I'll probably do it, but I'm not saying that I'm not trying to do it. I don't even think they cognitive of it, you know, or they want to plug some shit for 10 minutes, you know, like, nah. The music in the beginning, you know, they give them a little time. I probably, right, these things probably will be incorporated into my show, but right now all I have is me and 2 pieces of paper with some writing on it. And so now, right, I'm going to go into my political talk because it's impeachment shit, right? Trump. Oh, yeah, I could tell y'all this, right? So, him and Kanye West is the reason that y'all have a podcast from Richard Clemens now. Minister G, Rich Matrix, Victor Newman. My name is Legion. From one I am many. I think I have seven alternates, you know. And so, because the thing is like, and I'm going to separate things because, you know, it's like, what if somebody come in to try to get the word, you know, of, you know, a higher thought and need spirituality, and I'm over here talking about, you know, this and that, Trump, or stuff like that. So, you know, right now it's just a smorgasbord, everything thrown in, so I can get my mind right. Cause, right, it's just been eating me, you know, to do this. It's been a long time coming, so it's just like, I just want to get the ball rolling, and that's that. But, so the impeachment, so Trump, Kanye, right, that's what I'm saying, him and Kanye, so, like, 3 years ago, now, I guess, before, 3 years, right, before he got elected, you know, like, at first I had wrote about him losing. I was thinking that Hillary was going to win. And then I swear I wrote it down. It might have been the day of the election or the day before, but I wrote like, this nigga might win. I'm saying, just because it's the white man's last stand. Like, you know, it's like the world is actually changing. The world is moving on, and these motherfuckers are stuck. And it's like, he like their last great hope, you know what I mean? And, so for those reasons, I thought he might win. So, in that thought process, I was writing, and like, right, this is the thing, because, like, this audio stuff wasn't supposed to come before my writing stuff, you know what I mean? I've been writing this shit for 7 years now, but I said that if he won, I would start taking my job more serious, which, you know, was referring to me actually starting TNC, actually, you know, pursuing it and, you know, making it real, because, you know, it was growing. It was, it had been growing for a while, but like I was sick, you know what I'm saying? So like my mind was gone. I mean, it's like half the reason I came up with this shit is because I was sick, and the, and all of those things that I was going through at that time is like, this is the reason that you actually have TNC is because, I got sick and and I thought it was meant to be. Like I say nowadays, right, to answer something that I said earlier, about like that vision prophet stuff is that my answer to it would be, I was in a room with a genius, and I was listening. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know, it's not right. It's above my pay grade to know, if what I'm saying is for the betterment of my people or not. I know I'm kind of like propelled to do it. I have this itching, and I think all my other endeavors to be not to be an influence in other people's lives. Like I've been at all my life. I've been taking care of people to one degree or another. Been telling people what to do, giving advice to the best of my ability. With the information given. But I've never been like a malicious person and never wanted to just hurt people. Not the person like to put boogers on a guardrail, on a rail or something like that, or, just shicey little things that people do all the time that you don't even know that somebody, did somebody plan this, they premeditated, and then you so happen, to be the person that walk into that, and they went about their day, they haven't even thought about it twice, like, I've never been that type of person, and that's a petty level, but I mean, on that type of thought level, on a bigger scope either, like, if I'm not in the argument, or the fight, then I'm not going to let the person fight, and I'm not going to let two people misunderstand each other, if I can help it. How people sit there, they heard everything, but the one person didn't hear something, so they misunderstood the other person, but you heard it, but you just gonna sit back and let it happen, for entertainment reasons. Some people even egg the shit on, like, ooh, things like that. So I'm not that type of person, I've probably done it, caught up in a moment or two, but, percentage wise, 95% real shit. So this impeachment thing, it's like, so this is the thing, they playing games, like, I mean, like, this nigga is robbing a bank and telling y'all he robbing a bank, and then it's like, for the people, the Republicans, that believe that he's innocent, or they still messing with him and things like that. Like, don't this sound like a pattern? Like, if he was innocent on the Mueller report, or like, what he did with Ukraine shows that he was guilty with the fucking Russian thing. I mean, like, he interfered with that. He interfered with that investigation, threw that one all off. He doing the same thing with Ukraine. And, like, all these calls, like, he got away with it before. Oh, this is my thing. This is his second time doing it, right? So, all this stuff that he doing with Ukraine, he probably, he made calls with Putin before the election. I mean, he set all of this up before Putin, they helped get him elected. Now he trying to set up the same thing again, with Ukraine. I mean, well before, anything even happens, like if he would have got away with it, then you wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, you were here around the first of the year, or, whenever, it got closer, to Biden being, the nominee, the Democratic nominee, you would be hearing, oh, Hunter Biden did this in Ukraine. You would have heard all of that, and it'd be like, oh, the same thing they did with Hillary Clinton, you know what I'm saying, about her emails and about Pizzagate, all that type of stuff. I mean, like, this is this nigga pattern, you know what I mean? And so, like, this is why I say these white folks, Republicans, whatever, playing games, because y'all see the pattern, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what he doing. And this is what I want to say to niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying stay out the vote, staying out the voting process and things like that, but we need to stay out of their politics. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not our argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit goes back to the Civil War, before the Civil War. It's like they two brothers, you know what I'm saying, basically, or two white women, you know what I'm saying, for, if you really want to say who control the shit, but, you know what I'm saying, they fucking representatives are they white boys, and it's like, they brothers, you know what I'm saying, and all they do is fight among each other. Now, one of them is that cool, you know what I'm saying, like, dude that you might grow up with. I mean, he cool, you know what I'm saying, like hip-hop, this and this and that, whatever, you know what I'm saying, real dude, you know what I'm saying, but his brother is an asshole, such and such and such and such. Now, he don't even mess with him much or anything like that. But if something happens to his brother, that nigga is going to be Johnny on the spot. You know what I'm saying? He don't give a fuck about what he did, however it goes. You know what I'm saying? That's family, and this is how we roll type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And that will always be the case. And so, their infighting has nothing to do with us, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and, it's compounded by a lot of other factors, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into, all the problems that niggas have chasing white folks, basically, I guess I said it, but I can't, you know what I'm saying, go off on all of that right now, because, like, we in a bad relationship, simple as that. We're in an abusive relationship, and we the bitch, you know what I'm saying? You ever been in a domestic violence relationship? Raise your hand. I just did. I mean, I've been abused. I've been the abuser. Cause like, it's not like when I call myself abused, I mean, like, it's not like I haven't been hit and things like that, but it's like the mind fuckery, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like shit you don't get over. It's like, it's like shell shock, PSTD. You just, it's not easily forgotten, things that a female can make a nigga remember. And so, for them, if we fighting, physically, I'm gonna win. So that's never been good. And nigga, if you ain't really that type of person, that shit don't leave you either. You know what I mean? You be like, damn it, man, But they doing the same thing that they always do. It's like they know that the other side is dead wrong, the Republican side, but they're still trying to compromise. They're still trying to get them to see reason, like that's what they do, and they know, that's not what they do, you know what I mean? Like, they have these, Archie Bunker, you know what I'm saying, is not like a representative of a real racist, in my opinion, like, cause he adopted change, and, he was tolerant, that if not accepting, he was at least tolerant, of the Jeffersons and things like that. And he let people, be. He just talked shit behind, behind his door. But a lot of people that believe shit like that, they actually feel like it's their duty to do something about it. You know what I mean? And this is, this is what fucks up the world, because, like, this is when so who told you to do that? God? You know what I'm saying? Like, really? So, I want y'all to know, everybody out there that believe in God and things like that, this is one of them truth moments. Like, do you realize you was talking to yourself? You know what I mean? Like, God right? I mean, if you think about it, God is even too big to be held in your brain. I mean, we see the world, you know what I'm saying? And we don't even get the glimpse, you know what I'm saying, all the wonders of the world, not even a fraction of it. Most of us live and die, you know what I'm saying, in the same place, you know? So, you know, like you thinking that like you can grasp the concept, you know what I'm saying, of whatever made all of this, you know? It's like, you know, it's like not being able to see the trees from the forest. I mean, I think our job is just to enjoy it. Whoever did it, they did the hard part. Our job is not to figure out how they did it, try to break it down, you know, and things like that. Like, nigga, it's a pizza with everything on it. You know what I mean? If you don't like something, just take it off. But it's still a fucking pizza. Even if it was cold, it's still a pizza. It's gonna be good regardless. It's pizza. So that's how that goes. 35 minutes, you know, is a lot of time to be talking to yourself. Staring at a screen, you know, like, if y'all could hear some music in the background, I don't want it, like, don't no fucking artist or nobody try to sue me or shit like that. Like, you know, I have been concentrating, you know, trying to just, continue my train of thought that I am on, however long it lasts, you know, Nemo style or up to a minute, maybe. But, you know, I have a little visual on in the background, just so I won't be totally alone. China, right? China is getting, you know, cracking down on their protesters. I got this blunt here. I haven't even lit it. Been talking for 35 minutes. It was the whole reason that I did it. I had my little shit set up. I was going to chill, relax, and, you know, let things, you know, develop organically, naturally. But taking a coffee break. But my political stuff, I'm going to be on that. So, you know, like, maybe chop things up into like 15-minute segments, you know, not throw 10 subjects, you know, at the window at the same time. Because I know certain things, people, if someone listens, would like, you know, to know more about, or find something intriguing. And, you know, next thing I know, I'm talking about something else that had nothing to do with it. As I reported already, that I find that a lot of podcasters do. But they, you know, they supposed to be better at it because, you know, these motherfuckers got 100,000, 200,000 viewers, 500,000 viewers and things like that. So, I'm not going to be so hard on myself. I do have I have 90 minutes to talk shit. It'd be so funny. I'll be watching. You pick up something. It'd be 2 hours. You're like, what the hell did y'all talk about for 2 hours? Right. And then, right. And then they do stuff like, you know what I mean? Like, they worse than me because I know I've been talking. You know what I mean? Like, you sit there, these motherfuckers looking at a piece of paper for a minute. You know, they listening outside, all type of different things. So I have tried to, you know, not give y'all so many gaps. Cause, you know, like, that's what they have editing for. You know, you're supposed to, edit this shit so you don't have those gaps because they are, you know, people, they have them. So, like, I guess, right. So you feel, under pressure, or you feel more obligated, you know, to fill the space, because when you watch the videos or you listen to them, you know, when you're listening to them and they've been, you know, chopped up and edited correctly, you just hear that continuous flow of conversation. You know, you don't hear the papers in the background like me and, you know, the ice in the cup and the lighting of the candle. I be forgetting sometimes I'm a real minister, and like I have put it out in the world that I'm a real minister. So like I do, I do have like awareness at a certain, certain things that people may expect of me, or view me a certain way if I say a certain thing, and then they be like, "Did he just say nigga? Did he just say motherfucker?" Things like that. But it's one thing I tell you like this, right? And ever since I was a kid, I'm saying, like, I trained myself, out of it, is the word dog damn it, right? So, the other way people say it, like, I don't even say it out loud. I try not to even think it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's something, I don't have to try because I don't, you know what I'm saying? But it's not even in my lexicon, it's not in my vocabulary, but I don't say it. Like, I did come out, right, I came up with dog damn it, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was my thing. I put that in my raps too. Yeah, dog damn it. But like I never said the other word, because, they was talking about, being blasphemous and, one of the worst things you could say and stuff like that. And so I don't even pay attention, but, it's like everybody and their mama say that word, like it's nothing, but me, cursing as a minister or things like that, they like shaking their head like, oh, like this nigga's out his mind, you know what I mean? And why we gotta be niggas, why we can't be black? It's like, because we're not actually fucking black, you know what I mean? Like, why do Mexicans get to be brown people? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. I mean, I wouldn't rather, but, like, it would fit, the description better, you know what I'm saying? We was called brown people, you do got some dark ass brown people, but they still fucking brown, you know what I mean? So, and then, right, you got the mixed people, you got the Caribbean people, got all these different tribes doing the same shit that they were doing over in Africa, separating themselves, you know what I mean? Pan-African, all, whatever, you smarty art people know what I'm talking about. And so, we still niggas, because if somebody get mad at you of another color or race, they could call you nigga and piss you off, you know what I mean? And you might not even consider yourself black, but they just looked at you and said, black, oh yeah, nigga. So which one do they, which one do they refer to you more, in the time of distress, like which one are you actually in their mind, because, so black would be secondary, like we niggas first, you know what I mean? But at the same time, see, this is what make it raw, because it stands for never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. So, I mean, it's a noun, it's a verb, you know what I mean? It's a lot of things, you know what I mean? It's beyond me, like I said, well, like I wrote, my website, tnc-preach.church. That was the hardest thing I ever did, like actually publishing those writings, you know what I mean? Talking about the different things that I was talking about. But it's true about Richard Pryor, having this skit about how God saw the people over in Africa fighting, amongst themselves and not getting along, no unity and things like that, and calling themselves, different things and being under different tribes and having all these different nations. Took all the smarty art people, you know what I'm saying, all the viable people, not all, but you know what I mean, and sent them over to America and put them under one flag, one banner, one tribe called nigga, and to this day, right, we only exist in America So it's about 50 million of us, give or take. And that's it. And that's all, there will be. I mean, it can grow because, it's one way in, one way out, But for the most part, we are alone in the world. It's only us, and we need our own space. It's not about like, not space, physical space. It's just mental space, you know what I mean? It's just, okay, we niggas, never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. It's an acronym, you know what I mean? It might take, 100 years for it to be, understood, or however that goes, because that's beyond my thing also. But I do know that if we take it, it's not just taking it over, because we took it over however they want to say, but we haven't, because we still get offended, and he still, what fucking nigga is walking around saying the N-word? You got black people on TV, saying, oh, they said the N-word. Like, nigga, they said nigga, you know what I'm saying? You a nigga, then you say nigga, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you still saying the word white people by saying the N-word. What the fuck is that? You see what I'm saying? So, but like, you know what I mean? It's like TNC, you know what I mean? It could be whatever I say it is, but you know what it stands for, or it could be whatever other people say it stands for, or however, but you know what it stands for because I have told you, you know what I mean? I had to make that decision, consciously, because, right. It's one group of people out there, and they just did this year too, so I find it kind of funny, but it's called the Neighborhood Church. TNC. So I was like, that was a good one, because I hadn't thought of that, you know what I mean? I had different little acronyms and initials, I guess, AKAs, for it. But, because, the main second one is, my daughter's name is Trinity, my son's name is Nazir, their last name is Clemens, or Church, you know what I'm saying? So TNC, fit into that, and the Richard Pryor story catapulted me, or it was like, I don't know, it was like, right, I was in the room with a genius, and it was like, did you hear that? I'm like, yeah, I'm listening, and so it's like, hey, you need to use that, and so that's how that is, so that's what I did. I think I'll probably go into that later, because it has to be mapped out and discussed at length if it will make any type of sense to anybody at any time. I think I'm going to wrap this up because I think I've been talking too long, but this is the first show. It would not be the last. We call this episode 1. Maybe I should go back in the beginning and make an intro. I don't know. The editing is going to have to come later, So all of this that you have been hearing in the backgrounds and things like that would not be an ongoing phenomenon. You can come back and see the growth and the progress of TNC Preach show. I have been your host. My name is Richard Clemens, Rich Matrix. Tippy is my nigga name. Got a few more, right? Oh yeah. I used to be a rapper. I'm still a rapper because I'm a writer. Do you know rapper actually means like to write, something of that sort, because that's how they say, let me rap to you, rappy, let me pull your tailcoat, like the old people say, they want to tell you something. So